guys, it's Jen. It is Wednesday, July 31st, 2019. Oh, let me get my stage lighting in my luxurious studio fixed. Just kidding. Didn't get much sleep last night, but it was a good thing. I got a lot of homework done and some things accomplished, so it was good. I used my time wisely. But anyways, it is going on noon here now, and I decided to just hop on here. And as I stated earlier, I was going to go into my journals over the past little while and kind of pull up some sketches and drawings or calculations or research or whatever, writings, journalings, poetry, things like that, my art, okay? Research analyst and prophet. That's my art. I love it. So I figured I'm going to start with recent, and then I've got different journals and living the way I've been living for long enough now with the homelessness, carton bags and containers. I am so unorganized, it drives me insane. Like, I'm the type, I want files in alphabetical order and everything, you know, because I hate things out of place. And all my journals are like, you know, this one's from May, this one's from then, this one's got, you know, phone numbers and messages, but yet it's my journal as well because it's the only piece of paper I have at the time, and like everything's in freaking plastic bags, and I'm like, okay, let's just start somewhere, begin somewhere. That's a start. And that's the most important one you ever make, by the way, FYI. Here's some mom talk coming at you. As long as you start, you took the most important first step. Well done. So I'm going to start with what I wrote last night while I was in meditation, and I was receiving some energies and visions and thoughts and dreams and lots of that stuff. So I'm just going to read to you guys what I jotted down from that. Now, as earlier in the evening, I read from the book of Revelation, and it spoke about the Lion of Judah. So I have a lot of connection lately with me. I also said today is symbolically my mom's birthday, but she passed away in 2014. So, you know, 7/31/51. So she was a Leo, which is a lion, and it is feline. I guess you could equate that to cats, lyrans, anything like that. So we have Leo, the lion or lioness, the Lion of Judah. And then that's giving me another message. I'm going to tribe. And so that's signaling to me, and I'm interpreting that as family reunions on whatever level or scale, or meeting, or coming together somehow, some way. Also, the energies that are coming into our atmosphere right now, it is coined the Lion's Gate portal, which is allowing these new energies in. And it is feline, you know, cat senses and stuff like that. I've been getting heavy number 7 messages, syncs, energies, 77777, lucky 7, and I'm like, okay, that's me, that's my numerology. What's 7? 7, okay, the 7th month is July. I'm trying to like figure all these things out, right? And then 7 spirits of God that we talked about. There's star energies, celestial, astral energies, Neptune, hydrogen, rainbows. I know a lot of you guys out there have had some big time rainbow energy. Oh, the bow, right? The promise. Mars energies, of course, for me. Rain or water, the element of water, and that could be a connection with Neptune. Lots of angel energies, clouds, winged beings, butterflies, dragonflies, angels with wings, feathered wings, angels, guides, guardians, protectors, and helpers, that kind of energy. Lots of solar energy. High time. Pun intended. High time, high noon, sun, right? And an up in UV, I can feel that. And then I got good news from my girl who's one of my sisters out there. She was speaking about the planets that have been in retrograde are now finally going direct. And we were laughing. Oh, her channel is Blue Flame Integration, by the way. And so we were laughing because some of us get hit really hard when planets go in retrograde. You know, it's like backwards or going in reverse. It's like you're spinning out of sequence, out of sync, you know? And it messes you up. It's like you're emotional and like mad one day and crying one day and, you know, all these different, like, I always explain to people, imagine like the rings on Saturn, how they spin, like that's how your head will be about everything. Just like constant. So it's been rough for some of us out there, myself included. So I'm very thankful for that. So I wanted to share those things, see if that has any meaning. Also, the number 5 energy, and that I was trying to think what was coming to me, and I got that it's been 5 years since my mom's passing, 2014 to now. Beings are also have a relation to numbers, and as far as I've studied and learned, like human man would equate to the number 5, the devil or Satan would equate to the number 6, and God or the heavens would equate to the number 7, okay? So let's see, I already talked about that. So if that means anything to any of you, I'd love to hear from any of you guys. Oh, big shout out. There is a channel that does guided meditations and hypnosis sessions and using a lot of angelic energies to do that. And his name is Steve Nobel. And I have listened to his meditations many a time, and they're very helpful and beneficial to me, so I thought I would just share that. And the one I did was the Ultraviolet Fire and Grace Elohim meditation, which are the angels, the watchers, the guardians, the guides. Coincidence? You tell me. And I'm getting a big connection with directions and poles, north, south, west, east, top, bottom, left, right, the cross, a circle being cut into quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that can be halved in either way. You know, this is how I get this stuff, guys. This is why I figured I'm just gonna muster up my courage, suck it up. Like, if you guys, you could probably hear my heart pounding through the phone because that's how, like, anxious and nervous. In 42 years, this is the absolute very first and only time I have ever in my life freely shared and opened my research and journals and my art craft to anyone, ever, completely. So, just saying, it's time. Time. So, okay, let's see. Melchizedek, okay, the high priest Melchizedek, and the order of high priests and high priestesses. I did a great prayer, meditation, connecting with the energies in that line, and that was fantastic for me. Maybe not for everyone, and I can't remember what channel I used for that, so I apologize for that. If I recall it later, I will mention it. Okay, and then the most recent would be this guy right here, and he starts June 24th and goes to, July 29th. And, okay, so we're going backwards. We're going retrograde, just like Mercury. Alright, let's start with this. Here's like killed two birds with one stone. I hate that phrase and that saying, but you know what it means. Accomplish two things, multitask. I have a poem written on the last page here, and I wrote it when I was around 15, like in the early 90s, and I applied for a copyright, and I was going to put together a compilation of poetry that I had written, and it basically was taken, and I never received anything for my poem. So, stolen, whatever, taken, whatever, I don't know. And, kind of sucked, but it is what it is. But, of course, I wrote it, so I know it from memory, and I've written it throughout my life in different times, just to try to recall it. And I named it Love. That's what I entitled it. But today, at my age, all these years later, I would probably rename it to The Many Expressions of Love. So here it goes. This is my poem. Love, so unwilling, so unkind. It can be lost, shared, even stolen. One thing is certain, however, one may never own love, for it exists only to be given. So that's my poem. Okay, now let's get to some maybe sketches or doodles or something relating to current events and upcoming events. Let's see. Okay, increase in seismic activity, and I did some research on this. I just want to point this out before I forget it. With all the traffic in the skies and the disruption of all types of waves of communication, such as radio waves, wireless waves, energy waves, it's like having a calm pool of water, and then you're taking your hand and going bzz, and then all those ripples are going out, everything's getting all blah, blah, messed up, okay? And that has an effect, a direct effect, in my opinion, based upon my research, on space-time and the connection, meeting point, origin, okay? They're getting messed up. Can't meet up at the same place at the same time. Like I'm trying to paint the picture, but that has a lot to do with like particle physics and ripple effects and all kinds of stuff. So, in my opinion, with the increase that many of you, just as I, have heard and seen in our skies, in our geographic local areas, oh man, it's causing a lot of disruption in communications coming together. It's like, see, I'm not the best speaker, that's why I don't do this stuff. But hey, I'm learning, right? So, I just try to explain things. And I just wrote the funniest thing this morning to somebody. I said, I am a mom, and I said, you're more than welcome to ask my sons how much I nag and lecture and explain and advise. They'll tell you real quick. So when I can kind of paint pictures and explain things and break big complicated things down into small, easy to understand, digestible pieces, it's a lot easier to efficiently gain the knowledge, learn, and then be able to process it, and then try to solve problems and things like that, or figure things out. So that's what I do. And being that my son, being, you know, autistic spectrum, all right, abled, not disabled, there's a certain way I had to speak to him his entire life, such as he's not one that you can say, Benjamin, go upstairs and clean your room, please. You have to say, Benjamin, I need you to put your shirts in the top drawer. I need you to pick up your toys that are on the floor. And I need you to bring down the cup that is on your dresser. Those 3 things. Now, you tell me, what are those 3 things Mom needs you to do? Oh, what's the other one? And I would do something like, oh yeah, the cup. Okay, ready? Now, how fast do you think you can do it? And we'd make like a race, you know? I think you can do it in 60 seconds, and I'm gonna time it. Ready, set, go. And when you make learning fun and enjoyable to where someone actually desires it, wants it, looks forward to it, and you're not like in Ferris Bueller's class with Bueller while you're drooling, falling asleep at your desk, wasting time, you know. So I think teaching should be fun because learning is fun. And let's see. Oh. So with that being said, all those trajectories in the air, the messing up of everything in the atmosphere, the pollutants that are expressed into the air as well, released into the air, cause a buildup of negative ions. And it could be similar to like greenhouse effects, gas effects. You know, real thick, dense, low oxygen, and some traces of maybe things like methane and toxic gases that are released, okay, from certain compoundings that happen. It's so hard to explain. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm doing my best, but okay. So with that being said too, even though our current president did sign an executive order against EMP attack, which is electromagnetic pulse attack, which you cannot audibly hear with your ear, but pulses are being sent and they affect your brain waves, okay? And so he signed an order to prevent them. However, in my opinion, my research would point in the direction of maybe even a bit of experience, but that is only my observation, my opinion, that experiences by ringing in the ears, as well as symptoms such as hair loss or severe weight loss or gain, severe swelling, yellowing of the face, eyes, or body, which would be jaundice, which would mean your liver is suffering. And the liver is the organ in our bodies that gets rid of all the toxins and all the junk and all the waste. And if our livers are built up with a bunch of sludge, they can't push out the filth. So when we retain it, we basically cause sepsis, like we poison ourselves with toxicity. Well, our bodies poison us. We don't do it to ourselves. I mean, we're not spraying trails in the air and polluting water and all that. You know what I mean. So you have to keep that flushed with water and vitamins and minerals and a healthy diet. There's many things you can do to combat the metals and the toxins and the viruses and the bacterias and all that. So, you know, our ozone is depleted enough, as we are all well aware. And, you know, that's the little hole in the ozone. It's got that little wormhole in it where all the crap's getting into our atmosphere, our skies, our earth, our water. And if that hole isn't healed and patched and sealed, viral disease-causing agents, lethal toxicities come into our system. Okay, that's like the amniotic sac covering and protecting the fetus in a mother's womb during pregnancy. That is what our ozone does for us. Protects us from the bad elements out there. And there's a lot. And so the combination, if you put all these things together, all of our natural life-sustaining elements that are freely gifted to us during this life here on this planet by God and from our nurturing surrogate mother, Earth, right? We have everything we need. And it's all being corrupted, polluted, destroyed. And when all of that happens, that same disease causing death happens to each and every one of us, because we rely on all those things for survival. And once they're gone, you die. So what I'm seeing is, yes, the battle is on. The proverbial war has begun. I'm not saying there is a literal one here on the earth at the present time right here today. I'm just saying there's very much a spiritual battle, as well as a battle over the control of this world going on at the same time, as well as a battle in other realms, not on earth and not in our space, our atmosphere either. Maybe under it, below it, maybe above it, beyond it, maybe inside it, within it, maybe in other places, elsewhere, in other realms, different beings, different worlds, different nations, different kingdoms. And it's basically game on right now on all levels in the game, okay? Every dimension that you can imagine. Mostly spiritual. Because once the life force is sucked out of you, which is your spirit within you, your consciousness, there's no memory of you. There's no remembrance of you having ever existed. If you can be deleted, blotted out. And that's not saying go get famous so you could plaster your face and your name everywhere and make a lot of money. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying by you staying in control of what you allow yourself to look at, what you allow yourself to listen to, what you allow yourself to eat and drink and put into your body and take into your body, and others that you surround yourself with, the influence that has on you, by making good and great choices for yourself, you are saving your own life, literally. Because your consciousness, your memories, your thoughts, your awareness, your being of sound mind, body, and spirit, that's eternal. That can never be wiped or blotted out. But let's say I go get a microchip in my brain and I'm hooked up in front of some television boob tube buying everything they're selling on, you know, the TV for the highest cost, and it's just purchase, consume, purchase, consume, purchase, consume, get distracted, do nothing, die. Like, don't buy it. Don't buy what they're selling. And today, everything's for sale, including your soul. And that don't sit well with this one right here, guys. And that's why I do the sacrifice that I do and have pretty much everyone in the world against me doing it. Family, supposed friends, ex-partners, you know, camaraderie is non-existent. Schools, churches, governments, agencies. Not gonna find the truth anywhere in them places, I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna use every bit I got till the last breath I take and my body expires and gives out to fight these injustices of the world and be an advocate for the suffering. It takes one to know one, you know? And I can mean that a couple of ways. So, anyways, some big things are going to be happening soon, and I know people don't like to talk about things that, well, pretty much in a nutshell, aren't real fun to talk about. They could be a little scary, they could be a little out there, weird, freaky, creepy, nerve-wracking, worrisome, panic-inducing, you know? Believe me, I know. But it doesn't lessen the fact that still the need exists for it to be discussed and talked about, because how much of an injustice would I be doing to anyone? My children, myself, my family, you, if I said nothing, and then let's say, just hypothetically, some shit went down and somebody suffered or got hurt or pain, and I never said a word. I couldn't live with myself. My conscience will not allow me to bear that burden. So, my good friend once and always used to say, here's my advice based on research and experience and other things. Take it, leave it, or throw it in the garbage. But here you go. And, you know, it is what it is. And if I have to be the big mouth, loud mouth, mouth of the South from Florida, hurricane in your face, then so be it. Consider me that. So let's read one final thing here. I wrote this on Saturday, July 27th. I did put an asterisk that I wanted to edit it later, so this is a rough draft. But it's raw, it's authentic, it's original, and by me. And this one is a prayer that I entitled, Praise You, Lord Jesus. Oh, that I could glimpse the beauty of thy face, the agony and pain displayed in the garden by thee in full grace, so real and memorable, as if I too were there with thee in that garden, yes, the Garden of Gethsemane. My heart breaks upon seeing the vision, and tears fall down my face. looking upon the scene in which broken and battered ye fall down to thy knees, sorrow gripping, sadness inflicting. Would that I could take all the agony from me. No hesitation, gladly would I bear thy cross of iniquity and carry for us both the pain and despair. Oh, how I wish I could trade places with you, my King. In honor would I proudly die, but to thee leave the glory be. My soul longs for you, my heart cries aloud. All glory and honor is yours, beloved, for how you make the Most High proud. I love you, Jesus, who lives and reigns forever and ever. On thee will I wait, with fervent hope and faith will I praise thy name forever. Thou art holy, blessed be thy name, King of kings, Lord of lords, hallowed be thy name, forevermore. Amen. Alleluia. Christ is risen. So, prayer, poem, I don't know. That's Jenn's journaling. Jenn's journals. That's what I always named them since I was a kid. Jenn's journals. Because I'm a nerd, but I'm proud of it. Anyways, so I'm going to leave it there. Got a little emotional with that one. And I'm still staying hopeful. I have dinner plans with my sons today. And I'm hoping and praying that if everything follows through, you know, and goes through, and we start some healing. Mother and child, and even father present, family healing, family unit healing. Right? So, I love you guys very much. Thank you for everything. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you learned some insightful knowledge on my channel, and I hope in one way, shape, or form, even if it's minor, you find some kind of peace or help or advice or tips or something good. Something good. Anything good. Love you. Peace.